You might imagine that becoming whole again, after heartbreak, loss, or pain, would feel like a triumphant return to yourself. That the journey back to your own heart would be filled with light, with relief, with a sense of victory. You might expect that piecing yourself back together would be met with celebration, cheers, warm embraces, the world pausing to honor your quiet courage. But instead, healing often arrives in silence. It's a hush that settles over your life, a stillness that feels both peaceful and unbearably lonely. It's like sitting in a quiet room where the world moves on outside your window and no one checks in. The silence grows, echoing the spaces inside you that are still tender, still mending. In these moments, you realize that healing is a silent journey, one where you may feel invisible, misunderstood, or utterly alone, where no one really gets it, but you keep going anyway. Healing forces you inward. When the world feels loud and overwhelming, your soul starts to crave quiet. Solitude. Not because you want to be alone, but because you need to be safe. The problem is, healing is an internal process. People on the outside don't always see it. They might think you're pulling away, being distant, or acting different. But really, you're just trying to survive. Trying to understand what broke you in the first place. The journey of healing is often a quiet, deeply personal path, one that unfolds in moments of solitude and silent reflection. It's not something you can sum up in a quick text message or share fully over a casual cup of coffee with a friend. The real story lives in the spaces between words, in the thoughts you keep to yourself, and in the gentle, unspoken shifts that happen within. This journey is rarely visible to others, but it shapes you in ways that are profound and lasting. Another reason healing feels lonely is because it changes you. You start to notice the conversations you used to love don't feed you anymore. The people you used to confide in no longer understand the version of you that's emerging, and that's the scary part. When you grow, you often grow apart. Not because anyone did anything wrong, but because healing reintroduces you to your authentic self, the one you may have buried just to belong. As you begin to heal, and that truest version of yourself slowly emerges from within, you may notice a subtle shift in your relationships and connections. There is a quiet realization that not everyone in your life possesses the capacity or the willingness to meet you in this new space of authenticity and vulnerability. Sometimes the people you once felt closest to may struggle to understand the changes within you, or may not be able to hold space for your growth. This can feel isolating, even painful, as you long to be seen and accepted for who you are becoming. Yet it is also a profound invitation to honor your own journey, to recognize that your healing may set you apart, and to gently accept that not everyone is able to walk beside you at this stage. In this space, you learn to cherish those rare connections that do meet you fully, and to find peace in your own company as you continue forward. Healing is lonely because it comes with grief. Not just grieving a person or a breakup, but, grieving the version of you who tolerated less, the version of you who stayed too long, the version who just didn't know better. And grief is isolating, because honestly, no one else can feel the weight of what you lost. No one else truly knows what it cost you to finally walk away. So when people say you're strong or you're better off now, they mean well. But they don't see the quiet nights you spend crying into a pillow, or the way your chest still tightens when a certain song comes on. Healing is rarely a straight line. It's messy, filled with moments of confusion, setbacks, and raw emotion that can feel overwhelming. There are days when the weight of it all presses down, and you find yourself alone, sitting in silence, searching for answers that don't come easily. The loneliness can be profound, as if you're walking a path no one else can see or understand. But within that solitude, something sacred begins to unfold. In the quiet, in the struggle, there is a gentle transformation, a reclaiming of your own heart, a slow, sacred return to wholeness. Healing is messy, it's lonely, and in its own mysterious way, it is deeply sacred. In the stillness of early morning, when the world is hushed and the first rays of sunlight gently touch the earth, there is a quiet space where something profound begins to stir within us. We often think of loneliness as a shadow, a sign that something is missing or broken inside. But here's what no one tells you. Loneliness isn't always a sign that something is wrong. Sometimes it is the fertile ground from which transformation grows. In these silent moments, when we sit with ourselves and listen to the gentle rhythm of our own breath, we may discover that loneliness is actually a sign that something new is being born. It is the dawn of a new beginning, a subtle invitation to step forward into the unknown, carrying with us the hope and possibility of becoming whole once more. Think of nature. Flowers don't bloom in crowded spaces. Seeds sprout in the dark, underground, unseen. And maybe that's what healing really is. A quiet transformation. The kind of growth that doesn't get claps or likes. But it's the kind that rebuilds your heart in a way no one else could. There is a quiet truth that often goes unnoticed. So many people are healing in silence. In softly lit bedrooms, where the world feels distant and the only company is the gentle hum of their own thoughts. In the solitude of car rides, where the road stretches ahead and the mind drifts through memories and hopes. In the private sanctuary of journal pages, where feelings are poured out in ink, safe from judgment. Healing doesn't always announce itself. It happens in the quiet moments, in the spaces between words, in the gentle rituals of everyday life. These silent healers move through their days carrying invisible burdens, finding small ways to mend, to breathe, to hope again. Their journeys are unseen, but their courage is profound. You are not the only one who feels like the world kept spinning while your heart was breaking. And you are not the only one who wonders if anyone truly sees you. I see you. Sometimes the journey feels impossibly quiet, as if you're the only soul moving forward through the mist and shadows. Each step can echo with uncertainty, and the silence might seem endless. But even in this solitude, there is a gentle promise woven into every footfall. This path is not aimless. It's leading you somewhere meaningful, toward a deeper, more expansive love, not just for others, but for yourself. It's guiding you to a peace that isn't fleeting, but steady and real, a calm that settles deep within your bones. And as you keep moving, you're slowly becoming someone who doesn't just endure the storms, but learns to dance in the rain. Someone who doesn't just survive, but truly, vibrantly thrives. So trust the journey even when it feels lonely. The destination is brighter than you can imagine. So if healing feels lonely, remember, that doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It means you're doing it right. Sometimes the loneliest seasons, are the ones that prepare us to stand in our light. You're not alone. You're just becoming who you were always meant to be. If this spoke to you, if you've been walking through your healing season feeling unseen, I want you to know this space is for you. Hit that subscribe button so you don't have to do this journey alone. And leave a comment below. Tell me where you are in your healing. Even if it's just a word. You never know who else might need to hear that they're not the only one. We heal better, together. Thank you for watching.